All
All
right.
right. Um, Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing our discussion on recreating shinyMobile or part of it using the chapter 23 from Outstanding User Interfaces with Shiny book. So we were on chapter 23 and we have covered the app initialization part. We learned that we need to initialize the app in order to actually see the changes in the package that we are creating. So in the shinyMobile package, I have created separate folders as I showed last week, and now we are on shinyMobile 3 folder, and this part covers the sections 23.5.1 to 5.3. That is starting from this section app configuration until component configuration. So there are these two sections, global data and methods and other elements that I have not included. And you'll see that and it doesn't have a lot of details, so I skipped this part. And then the next two sections are theming and colors and modularizing the JavaScript code. In the app configuration section, the first thing that we start with is global theme. So as we have learned before, a shinyMobile or Framework 7 allows you to use multiple themes, and that includes iOS theme, a material design theme, and a desktop theme. The material design theme is used generally for Android, I believe, and the desktop theme or Aurora theme is used for a desktop or larger screens um, like tablets and desktops. So the way we can get that information from Framework 7 is to get that initialized app and then use .device to get that information. So let's see how that works. I'm going to switch to RStudio, and for setting up the global theme, we need to go to src.js folder, and then within init.js, add some changes to our jQuery code. So here we are within our files tab, and in src.js, I open init.js, and this is containing what I had before from the previous week. And I'm going to just go ahead and copy what I have here. I need to first uncomment it and then go back and paste it here. So we have the previous parts where we are creating the app using new framework 7. This is initializing the app. We provide the information about the root, the name of the app, and then this is the new part where we add the theme. Now to create the theme, I am adding app underscore theme equals auto, and this is the default as well. And then I'm checking here if the device is a desktop device, then change the theme to iOS. And then this app theme is what I'm using here in the theme argument. The rest of it is the same as before. And I have also added this console.log that is going to show that it is a desktop device if we run this on desktop device, which we are going to do right now. So once we have that in init.js, we need to build the JS and then document it. If this works out, see, okay, it worked. Now we document if we make any changes to F7, which in this case we did not have to make any change. Load our package and then run this small Shiny app. And in this app, we are providing the content as test, navbar with F7 navbar, similarly toolbar, and then the title of the app. So if we run this, we see this theme has changed. This is different from what we had before. And we can actually go back and see. Uh, Actually, before we do that, let's look at inspect. And within inspect, we see that it shows us um, in the console, it is a desktop device because it it actually detected it's a desktop device. This error that we see is just about the fav icon, and because we're not specifying it, it's using something default, and that's why it's throwing this error. And we discussed this warning before that instead of saying Apple mobile web app capable, we should say Meta. Meta name should be mobile web app capable. So that's a change since the book was written, but that's just a warning. It is still going to work as long as they allow. So this is the iOS theme. If I go back and then remove that part for the theme, if I don't say the app theme should be iOS, I'm just simply going to add these JavaScript comments. Unfortunately, there's no shortcut in
I
our
think it's
studio.
yeah, I don't know if those are backslash,
The forward slashes are the comments,
forward
but
slash.
yeah,
Okay.
but like for example, with our studio, you can just do Shift Control C for our scripts,
Yeah,
and
and
it adds
commendant.
this, but it doesn't work in the JS file. Um,
Maybe Positron should have a way around to do that.
yeah, in Positron, in any file, if you do Control forward slash, it works. So I build this again, and now we are going to look at the app again, and this time it won't show the same theme. So this is slightly different compared to this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back. So the next step is events. So in the book, there are a few events that they discuss. The app is able to emit events like initialization, resizing, online, offline. So it detects these events, and whenever something like that happens, it would do whatever we specify. And we can specify that using a function. So in this example, they say whenever the app is initialized, uh, then print this. So I have another example with resize. So let's see how that works. So I'm going to again copy this part and replace my JS file with this. So the theme part is the same as before, but this time within the new framework 7 section, I am adding on, just like they showed in the chapter. And then within on, I can tell it what will be my event. So I'm
Like
using
adding
two,
a method.
yeah, we are adding two methods for initialization event and for resizing. So I'm saying that if the initialization event happens, then say app initialized. If the app is resized, then say app resized. The rest of it is the same as before. So I'm going to save this and then build it again and then look at the app again. And now within inspect, it says app resize because when we open the inspector tools, it resized the app. Now if I move it, it says app resize 7 times, and it depends on how much movement the mouse has done. And so based on that, it would say 7. Okay, let's go back. So I think this could have nice uses. If you resize the app, it may throw some kind of information depending on where this is running. So I believe if it is running on a cell phone, you can use cell phone's own gyroscope information and then do something, whatever makes sense. Um, Next section is
Really cool.
components. Yeah, it is pretty cool. So next section is components configuration. So in the components configuration, here they say that all components are highly customizable, and here they provide the notification. So previously we have created a notification, as you see here. This is the notification that we have created, and the notification has this part where I'm creating this new object called notification using app.notification.create. And here I am providing it with opened, a method that will, whenever the notification is opened, it will do this. So we create this notification, and it says welcome to shinyMobile, as we have seen here. This is the notification, but the notification is not going away. So what we want is to either provide some timeout, so it goes away, or an event like you click on it and then it goes away. So that's what the components configuration section talks about. Here we see notification with title My App Close Timeout 3000, which means after 3 seconds, the notification should go away. Another option here is to add another notification. So you say other notification using, or other message using the same syntax that we saw before. And then you can use app.utils.nextTick. And then here you can provide a function where you take other message from here, dot open. So it will be opened after next tick, which means that after this is complete, then next tick happens, as I understand it, and it will create that notification for 1 second. So if we run this part, here it is. I'm going to copy this.
It's incredible how common in JavaScript is just to create no pure functions.
Yeah. Uh,
They just take it as normal, like, oh, okay, this object outside and then use it inside.
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of functions inside functions. So we have that same
Hmm.
thing here, and I'm going to build it. And again, document is not really needed here, but I do that just by habit.
Because it's fast.
Yeah. And here you can see,
Yeah,
if
I
I
saw
refresh it.
both. Yeah,
So there's also an option to swipe it and it will go away, but I could not test that on desktop, and I'm not gonna make the package and then run it on mobile at this moment, at least, because we haven't yet done the next section about PWA. Anyways, let's switch back to the chapter. The next section is allowing end user configuration. So here we have seen that I have provided some global options. For example, I told it to close the notification after 3 seconds, and I told it what should the notification say. But obviously, this is a package that we are building, and when we provide this package to the end users, we want our users, the developers of their apps, to be able to specify what should be the notification duration, what should be other global, what should be the other arguments, instead of us as developers of the package providing those global settings. We can, but this would be much more flexible, as we know now from the shinyMobile package, actual package, where you have all of these options available to us as developers of the apps. So in this example, they create a configuration tag, and within the configuration tag, they are providing that it will be more clear with this F7 page function. So here you provide the configuration that is created above, right here. And this configuration is then specified in the F7 page. And then we can use some jQuery to provide all of these options as user-facing options. So let's look at it in the RStudio. So for this, we need to switch to section 4. So I'm going to do that. Why doesn't it show me? Yeah, right here.
Just to make our life easier, let's just JavaScript better life.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so one thing that was not mentioned in the chapter is obviously we are developing a package, so we need to add the dependency. So we run this first, use this use package, JSON light, and that will add the JSON light dependency in our description file. So it's already here because I ran this before. And then now we modify init.js. So I'm going to take that and then open src.js.
You need to uncomment first before copying.
Yeah, thank you. Control C
And then yeah.
and wait. Okay, so I added these comments here to let us know that we are adding something new here. So the new part is the config section here. And within config, so let's see how this is working. We are creating an object called config for configuration. This is a jQuery code where we see that we are finding within the script the data for part that says app. So we are going to actually, once this app is launched, it's going to look for the app part. And this is that app part. And then once it finds it, it will then parse it. Uh, so it will take the configuration.html and then it will parse it so that it is now in the JSON format. And then we also add to it the root object and we call it as app. We do this before initializing the app. Before actually making the app, we provide our configuration here. Then when creating the app, again, we provide the root as before, the name as before. Now within version, we can provide config.version, which means that this version attribute is coming from config.
So it comes from R.
That comes from R, exactly. And the theme also comes from config, that again, as Angel mentioned, comes from R. And within notification, in this case, we are again providing a global part. So this is not part of the config, but we can also provide the close timeout in the config if we want. Currently, if we are providing it globally. The rest of it is the same as before. And now we also modify F7 page so that we can provide the configuration through the F7 page. So here is the F7 page part. I'm going to copy this and then go to my R folder and F7 page. And so this is what I want to delete. And right here, we provide the new function. Now, again, I have added the comments new one to specify the new things here. So the config tag is what we create first, and this will help us create the configuration. So it is a script tag. So this tells us that this is going to be JavaScript code that we provide here. And that's what we are providing as specified right here. So we say that it's type JSON, which we do for script tags, tags, yes, and data for is app. JSON light to JSON will contain the options that we provide here. So this is an additional argument that we have added to our function. And here we can provide all the options that we want to change or we want our user of the package to change for providing in the app global options. And then these are just JSON lights, two JSON functions arguments so that it's unboxed as a JSON thing. Now within the body tag, we have everything else as before, but we have now added the config tag. So that means that the JavaScript part is going to be in the body tag, as we know now we should be doing. And then within the tag list, at the very end, we add dependencies. And within the dependencies, this is same as before, but just to reiterate that within the dependencies, we have the body tag, which is now containing the configuration tag. So now that we have everything ready, let me see.
That's really interesting. Basically, they are just parsing the JSON, and basically JavaScript is going to talk to JavaScript. I was expecting to place that option in the server side,
Yeah, in
but
this
they
case, because Framework 7 has that ability to do all that manipulation, they are not using the R server side, they're using
yeah,
the Framework 7.
that's really interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so we are ready to build the init.js. So once we do that, now we need to document because we have updated the F7 page function. And now we can load all our functions and then run the app. But in this case, you see the app doesn't look right. You can see the test is here, the notification is gone, something is wrong. So let's see in the inspect if anything in console shows up. So in console, we don't really see anything weird. It's the same as before. But we see in the elements, we don't really see anything odd here. But if we open the script, you see
It's empty.
it's empty. But I think at this point, this is what we expect. Um, so I tested it again. I test again with options specified. Remember the options
Or
from
empty. Yeah.
from options here. So we did not specify anything. So we need to tell it that options should be provided. In the chapter, it did not mention this. The chapter said that it should work, and actually, chapter has that code where when you run it, it should be running even when you don't provide any options. This is what they say. But in as I showed you, it did not work for me. So we need
Maybe
to make,
because maybe you might need to define some default, at least for the thing, I mean.
yeah, maybe, but they did not mention this. But you're correct that we need to provide some default options.
In JavaScript, yeah, basically, if
Yeah.
people doesn't, provide this information, then you have some if
Mm,
and, have alternative.
right, I agree. So this time I am providing options equals to list, and here I provide two options, version and theme, because those are the two things that we use here. We use config.version and config.theme. These are the user-facing options that we are providing. So now if I run it, now the app is working and we see everything as expected. But now I can change the theme also directly from as a user instead of providing it globally. So that's good. We can also update version if we want. Um, so next, we make modifications to the notification. So previously we have used a global timeout. We can now make changes to it. So we can provide, like mentioned here, new parameters. And here we create a JavaScript object for the dialog. And we say button OK is this, button cancel is that. And then we can extend our app utils using the extend method. And here we provide app parameters will be extended with the new parameters. So to do this, they have, let's see if I have this part. So this is 23.5.5. Modify configuration. Yes, I do have it. So here we have this second part. Okay, and make this. So this one is simpler version. Again, we are creating the configuration, and here the only thing that we provide is configuration, because now configuration contains everything. Configuration has the root equals app. Configuration can also contain version, theme, name, everything. And we can then, we need to change F7 page so that we be able to provide all those options. So here we are now going to also add some default options, as Angel suggested before. So we can take shinyMobile options, and here's the modified F7 page. I'm going to copy all of this, go to my F7 page, delete this part, and also save this. So switching back to F7 page, within shinyMobile options, this is a list. I am providing some global options. Theme equals auto, dark is true, filled is false, then the color of the app, and then there are some other options for navigation bar and toolbar. So these will be the default options, which will go to options equals as to the options argument. And I added this as new two, and let's see where we are using. Yeah, the rest of it is the same as before. So there's no other difference. Just the shinyMobile options are now provided as default options. And actually, if you see in the current version of shinyMobile, it is using shinyMobile options as well, just like this, but it has much more options than this. And if we now build this, document our function, and then run the app. So see here, I'm not providing any shinyMobile options. It is going to use the default. So here we are, and we have this option, but you don't see any color used at all. If you recall from the function, there's this option color. There's also this option filled, which by default is false. Uh, but there's this option for color. But the color is really not needed. Sorry, really not used anywhere. So that tells us that it is going to apply to something that we've either not created yet, or it's
Maybe a
probably missing
button,
something.
something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's right. It applies to the buttons, and the color of the text on the buttons will use this. So so this is without providing the options. And now with different theme options, I am running the app again. And this time I say options list theme is equal to iOS. So I'm not changing anything else, just the theme. And we see that iOS theme is back. Next is modify configuration on the fly. So in this case, as we have
But
seen
on my
before,
so
yeah,
far, like you change the options like that. In my mind is that you eliminate all the defaults, so you are just providing the theme iOS. I think you will need to use another trick maybe to exchange that.
to
But
change the theme.
no, because like you go back to say F7 page,
Mhm.
you have your options.
Yeah,
So basically, if you pass a new list to that options, you are not passing any of the other defaults.
yeah, yeah,
What sometimes I do is just to validate. Well, I would keep this. This is for programmers, but it's like I will keep that option in null. I will place the object inside the function. I would prefer to have it inside the option,
yeah.
and then I will ask for the names of the list. If I see any name, then I override that one, and
Mm.
then I keep the other defaults. You know, and people just need to pass one thing and keep the other the same.
Yeah, I agree. I generally do that when I'm creating functions, even outside Shiny. If I have some default values, I would provide that directly inside here. But I was following how they did in the chapter, so I kept this
No, no,
separate.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, perfect.
But I 100% agree that is the best way to do. And I think in shinyMobile, the actual package, they also do the same thing. They provide the shinyMobile as a function. This
Hmm.
thing is also a function, I think, and then they
Okay.
provide that here.
Okay,
Um,
that yeah, I got it.
yeah,
That was it's even cleaner that way. Mhm.
yeah. Okay, so we looked at the theme options. The next part is modifying the configuration on the fly. If we run this app, let me stop this one. So see here, I'm not providing any changes to the shinyMobile options. We are using the default ones. I'm going to run it. And if I inspect, so here in the instructions, it says in the browser console, we need to run this part. Let me uncomment it. So this is going to extend the parameters, and the notification will have a close timeout of 5 seconds instead of the default 3 seconds. And the close on click will be true. So if I click on it, it would close the notification. So let's do that in the console. So currently it is just staying there. So I actually paste it here.
Yeah, the console
Allow
doesn't
pasting.
allow you to paste.
Yeah.
I love pasting. Oh, I didn't know that trick.
Okay, then we run this, and now after 5 seconds, this should go away. Or if I click on it, it should go away. But it's not going away. Why? Um, oh, I think I should also run this. No, but this is just a new notification.
Yeah, just a notification. It shouldn't. On
I
click,
tested it before. I
try to
tested it
click
before.
not in the notification in the body.
I'm
No,
clicking
or in
earlier.
overtest. Like no.
No, it was working before. When I
Mm.
tested it the first time. Let me try again. Um, okay, so it does specify that we have within notification, we have close timeout is five
Yeah,
seconds, and then so there should be close on
on
click.
click should be there.
True, it is there, and I tested
Yeah.
it before and it worked. I don't know why it's not working. See, oh, not this one. Okay, let's try this one. Yeah, so this is working.
Okay.
Um, and let's try the other one. Okay. Nope. What am I missing here? Nothing. It worked before. Okay, if I just say app.params, yep, that
Yeah,
is
you
what we
get.
have. And we do have notification. And then the notification we do have the
Yeah, the
true.
two.
That's weird.
No, I don't understand either. Like, yeah, you have the option. You are changing the.
Mm. Anyways,
Mm, yeah, that's what that's the those are the things that tell you. Okay, I would do this in one. Then you have 2 days figure out and debugging this.
yeah. Yeah, but there's no error, nothing, but I don't know why. Oh, maybe I need to change something here.
In the
No.
JavaScript code.
Mm, so in the JavaScript, no.
But the
Um,
point is working. Like we saw JavaScript. Like it
yeah.
happened.
Hmm.
And it was really weird because it also changed the notification.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, working for something, but for another thing not working, like
Anyway, that
yes,
was
but
the modify configuration part. And then the next section here says global data and methods. So here they say that Framework 7 data parameters allows you to store global elements, data, and use them in different scripts. So this is something that I did not try, but I can understand that you can add to the configuration. So we have created config, then we can do .data, and then we can provide some global values, username, first name, last name, and then in this case it's an empty array of widgets.
yes.
Then you can also add new methods to configuration. Again, there's no clear example here, but you can provide new methods if you want. Next is other elements. So this one I could definitely not test because this was about the touch example. So if you tap and hold the screen and it is true and the delay is 750 seconds, 750 milliseconds, then that means that whatever you do with touch, it would happen after 750 milliseconds. And which, as I say here, translates to this R list. And within shinyMobile options, we can now add the touch options. And then this will also go directly to config. And then you can do something like this. You can do app.dialog.alert. And whenever you have touched it, it would say tap, hold, fired, depending on what button you're using here. The example is using OSUI code, which if you run this, I think if I run this one with inspector tools, it may work. I did not try it. So if I stop this and I run it here, oh, I don't have OSUI code. Oh no. And let's try installing it. Hmm.
GitHub, find GitHub. That way you will find it easier.
Yeah, I'm gonna install it. A lot of packages. So it's gonna take its time. Okay, while this is running, we can discuss the next section, which is about theming and colors. So here they say that they have 15 color themes that we can use, and you can specify that using color dash theme dash whatever color you have. So there are two options. One option is to use this option and provide the name of the color. But if you want to use hex colors, then this option doesn't work. So you have to use one or the other option. So this F7 page modification is using color dash theme dash whatever color name we provide. And in the next example, they use the other one where you provide the hex color. Um, the Yeah, I think the second example is with that. So I'm going to show that to you in R. Let's see if this works first. Okay, so all right. This is working. Tab holds demo. So if I click and hold, nothing is happening. Click and hold. Okay, now if I inspect it and I go to um, iPhone, click and hold. Yep, there is some notification. No, it says notification open. Yeah, it's not working on it.
Okay.
If I try it here, click and hold.
Hey, what really cool animation, that one for the bottom.
Yeah, nope, it's not working. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I didn't try it before. Anyways, switching to the next section that I just talked about, theming and colors. So if I stop this Shiny app, and here is our new F7 page, where we are now going to use the name of the color. So here we are, F7 page. So in this case, we are going to provide the name of the color within the shinyMobile options. And so it is going to take null color as default. Then it's going to say if the within the option that the color is not null, then take this and use color dash theme dash whatever color name we provided. And then this is then used right here. Class is equal to body color. This is within the body tag, and this is essentially using color dash theme, the color name. And once we run this, nothing else about this section. So once we run this, we should be able to use a color. And this is going to use the color for, as we just saw, the button text and anything else where we are using the text. Um, Actually, not everywhere else, and not in the content. So I'm going to do document, load, and then see I'm using color equals to red. This is by name. So if we run this, you can now see that we have this toolbar button, which has the color red. So in this case, notice that I have added the button tag, and this is where the toolbar button thing is coming from in here. I also tried putting this button in here, and for some reason, it does not show up. So I don't know why. And I made sure that the ID is different, but I don't know why it didn't work. I was probably missing something. Okay, next is the hex color option. For using hex colors, we cannot use color dash theme dash the hex color, but instead we need to provide that. Where do we provide it? I forgot. So this goes to, so I remember that we don't provide body dash color, but here, if I'm not wrong, this is where we provide it. Let's see, currently with the F7 page, no, we do have this currently. Let's see, in the chapter, I go to theming and colors. So this was the first option. And yeah, here they say this approach assumes the user passing the color name as a parameter like pink, yellow, and won't be considered in the remaining of the book. What if we want to allow more flexibility and add any existing hex color? Framework 7 has tools, namely app.utils.color theme CSS properties. That is a JS method creating the required CSS on the fly, depending on the provided hex color. So here they're providing that. Once you provide that color, it then adds this within CSS. And yeah, so within init.js, this is added. Okay. Um, not here. Here. Yeah. I'm going to copy this. All right. So this is the configuration section as before. Now, within the config.methods, remember there was an option to add methods. So now we are going to add a method for toggling dark theme. So this is another option, and it's in the same section later. So I'm going to explain that here. So toggle dark theme method will use html.toggle class theme dash dark. And in our F7 page function, we will tell it to use theme dark option. And if we say that if this property does not exist, then config.dark should be false. Otherwise, it will be true and it will be used from here. Then for the color, the hex color, we first check config has own property color. So if we have provided in our F7 page and within our shinyMobile options list, if we provided the color, then it will use it. It will use it using app.utils.color theme CSS properties as we saw in the chapter. And this is where the config.color is taken from and provided to. And then here we have CSS part. So they've used the JavaScript to create the CSS. So the first thing that's happening is within the HTML section, um, we have a root, and within root, we are providing all of this for providing the colors. Remember, this is happening within the style tag, which you can do within the HTML. So that's what they're doing here. So F7 theme color will be the theme color coming from color CSS, which we have created above based on config.color. So as we saw here, if we provide any hex color to this thing, this method, color theme CSS properties, it generates color RGB, shade, and tint. And so that's what it is doing here as well. Once it is generated here, we
Okay, the
then,
point is that it generates as a JSON,
yeah,
but we need to have it as a CSS tag, basically.
yes.
So
And so,
basically, they are making the translation.
yeah, that is why you need to do all of this. You got it exactly. So this is why you need to write it in this way. And this is much more work than just using color dash theme dash named color. So there should be an easy option to do this, but it's not. There's no easy option. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Basically, we need to manage. Oh, you have the properties, perfect, but that's the CSS that you. But do it yourself, please.
yeah. And then just like color, we also have an option for filled to fill the navbar toolbar
Mhm.
with some color that we provide. And again, you have to write this long CSS for adding that. So all of this is added, and this is, I'm pretty sure, very careful usage of how to provide every single option here.
Whoa.
Even if you make one mistake, it's not going to work. But this covers the dark theme part as well, and it covers where exactly the fill option will make changes. So we can if we want, we can remove some of it and it will apply only to some of the fill options. But obviously that wouldn't make sense to our users. So we need to provide the fill to apply to everywhere where it makes sense. Again, this is part of the style tag, this style tag. And so everything is inside it. And then at the end, we say if config.dark, then app.methods.toggle dark theme, and then it will toggle it. The rest of it is the same as before. So we have made changes to this. We also need to tell our F7 page to be able to provide color and fill option. So the F7 page is right here. Okay, let's see if there are any changes here. So within shinyMobile options, we have filled equals to false. Now it makes sense that how filled is going to be used. Dark equals to true. So this will be used by default. And color is also provided as we saw before. And let's see if there are any changes to this function. No, there are no changes actually to this function. Um, no, just config tag is here, and config tag is basically targeting the app. So this should work. Let's see. We build our JS first, document our function, load all. And now within options, I am providing field is true, color is red, and dark is false. So let's see how that looks like. It's going to look horrible, but we will know that it works. Okay, so this is working. So this is the part about theming in JS. Now, within the modularized JS code section, they explain that you can actually, because now we have a lot of JS, it's a pretty long file. So they suggest to use different sections, multiple JS files, and use the ES-build JS bundler to do that. I did not try it, but in this section, they have basically created these multiple um, sections for each part that we have included in our init.js. And then they tell us here that you can import each JS file, for example, the helpers JS file within our main init.js, and then build it using build_js as before. So
Like
that's,
sourcing all functions.
yeah. Yeah, so separate the files, yeah, divide the file into multiple files and then load all of them in your init.js and then build it, and you are ready to go.
Yeah.
I definitely did not try the exercises after
Hmm.
this chapter, and this is the end of the chapter. The next section is going to be on using PWA, Progressive Web App, so that we could install this app on mobile phones. All right, this is it.
Perfect. Representation.